luck than I'd have.
That's the guy who's gonna live.
Yeah, but he's got a 16 wisdom, so that wouldn't be terrible.
That could happen.
Okay. Oh, we're recording. Look at that. We're recording.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I forgot we get recorded on this.
Now it's serious.
With the screen share, it was hard to tell whether I was doing it or not, but it looks like it's happening. It says it is. Okay. Great. Here we go. Here we are.
Look, there's the place.
Yeah. So let's bring it on. Bring on.
Hey, can we have a conversation on the way up the hill?
Oh, I think we should.
Yeah, sure. Before you get there, yeah.
Before we get there?
Go.
Because Allard wasn't really actually paying attention to any of the, stakes. And as we're walking up, I'd like to ask people what this whole thing is. Is this like a purification ritual? Is this like a turning of the season sort of thing that we're going to like cleanse it by pouring some water and saying some prayers? Or like what's the plan?
Is this the scholar talking?
Yes. Who was it turns out it was sent to do more field work because his thesis did not pass muster, since he is both lazy and stubborn and made bad academic choices.
Is there anybody here to answer questions other than us?
At this point, it's just the 8 of you.
No, yeah, I would be asking questions of you as we're walking up the hill of, so what's this?
Yeah, and I think just as a quick organizational overview, I think Ichtrude, the constable, is sort of the default leader, and it looks like Crespin, the crier, is her second.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless us. Okay.
Yeah. So Ichtrude is asked this.
All right. Can we just run through all the characters real quick? So then we have the rat catcher, who's my other guy.
Who's the rat catcher?
I know Kevin's 2 people.
Here, I'll call them out for you, okay? So Ichtrude, the constable, and Hoyvan, the trapper, the rat trapper. Those are Rob's characters. Allard, the elf scholar, and Crespin, the crier, are Kevin's 2 characters. Genon, the soothsayer, with an 18 luck. And Jasper, the forager, are Dean's characters. And Robinette, the ferry pilot, this evening is being played by the lovely Alyssa Swander. I think. Is that the division of duty over there?
Hey, Robinette.
Oui.
And Gabri de la Forêt is the elf troubadour.
Of course.
And it's just the 80s. There's no... You are the fodder. There's nobody between you and death besides your fellow villagers.
Well, and you, Jason. And you.
Right. Well, the dice say what they say. So that is Allard, I guess, approaching Ichtrude, right?
Yes, that sounds reasonable.
Allard, so what do you think?
Well, I thought there was, because it's October, right?
Yeah.
October, it's the fall. I thought there was like a harvest sort of thing that involves fires and singing and being grateful for the crops. And so are we going to like bring gifts to cleanse the fields or something?
No, we're going to the manor because the crops are withering in the fields, and it's all coming from the manor.
There's a curse.
Right, and Lantrude has come home. Lady Lantrude. Leget.
And for some reason, even though she's all noble and better than any of us, she sent us.
So how
of course she sent us.
Cleanse this? Is it is there prayers? Do we burn like smoky things?
Well, I looked into the future and I saw that the most important thing we could have is holy water. So I got some extra.
Oh, what are we going to do with it?
I don't know.
Answer mace.
I
I have a very helpful mace I brought. Cleanse the manor.
Oh my God, I'm getting D&D flashbacks. Is this like the mace that like sprinkles holy water? Is that the deal?
Yeah,
as opposed to the big spiky thing?
Right, it's a ceremonial mace. Wouldn't be any good in a fight, but you can.
Oh, come on.
It's full of holy. Sure, okay, maybe it'd be a little that you can.
No, we got into like serious 14-year-old arguments about this.
No, as a Catholic, I have been doused with one of these.
I also have.
Yeah.
And would it brain you?
No,
You were like 7.
They're only this big.
Yeah.
But this is a bigger one.
Wait, how big?
this big.
Oh, okay.
Think like a large spoon.
And it's not well, this one's bigger than that.
This
This is a
one's
little
bigger.
closer. It's a little closer to like a full-size mace, except that it's made out of silver, which is not gonna withstand much punishment. And it's not designed for battle. It's designed for sprinkling the water.
Yes,
So you can certainly hit somebody over the head.
in this fashion.
Will they invite us in? That would
I
be
don't know. We could either knock or we could go in as thieves in the night, stealthily.
So at this point, you arrive at the courtyard as this part of the conversation is happening, and you're standing on the west side looking in toward the kind of embrace of this two-story stone structure. In the middle of the courtyard is a fountain shaped like it's carved stone like an urn about 6 feet high, and on the urn in 4 different spots are what looks like little cherubic heads that are trickling water out of them into the basin. And the flagstones filling up the courtyard there's like black mold growing into all the cracks, and the garden beds lining the base of the structure are over, like there's black thorny brambles have overgrown and have started to creep up the sides of the building.
Is the water in the fountain, is it clear or is it brackish, similar to the river?
Do you investigate?
Yes.
Would you like me to join you?
Come with me,
Okay.
girl.
Yeah, so this is a great way to address the fact that we have 8 characters, only 5 people playing 8 characters. And usually when you say what you do, if there's a situation where it's important, where you're going to be saying what you're doing, I'll ask you what both of your characters are doing, all right? So that'll help us be a little more organized in terms of like all that stuff. Okay, so Robinette and Gabrielle.
Yes,
Gabrielle.
we will investigate.
But all of a sudden you're Russian? I'm starting
Until
to doubt
Luke knows his accents.
the heritage.
Investigate.
Is squirrel in fountain?
yes, I checked.
Yeah, Robinette and Gabrielle approach the. Okay, so real quick, I want a visual on the two of you. Like, give me just 1 or 2 notes about Gabrielle's appearance. We know that Gabrielle's an elf.
Yes, he is an elf. He dresses, again, sort of elvish culture is sort of blown to the wind. So he dresses in what he and many others assume is the garb of elves, which tends to be sort of tartan and felted wool and all sorts of other traditional English accoutrements. And
Okay.
The elves are Highlanders.
The elves are sort of-
Exactly.
okay.
And most of it in sort of dunny browns or greens.
So even though he's a traveling troubadour, he's not
Yes.
like all. He's not all in.
Well, no, he strives for authenticity.
Okay, great. Okay, awesome. And Robinette, could you give us 1 or 2 notes about? Is Robinette wearing a beret?
Oh, I wear the beret when I pilot the ferry. I have rosy cheeks from the wind, but my ferry moves very fast. And I have a notable nose. The note parentheses, red from drink.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You can
And,
understand me well.
What form does the drink take? Does Robinette have a little flask or a little?
Pear brandy. It's
Oh,
very
okay.
Yeah, you
nice.
have a little flask. Yeah.
So some
Yeah,
little
it's
small
like-
sips.
I keep on my person.
Okay, great. Well, you guys approach the fountain, and the water trickling out of the mouths of these cherub faces is, it's brackish and gray, and you can tell that there's something kind of clotting up. You would imagine that normally this would be like a nice free-flowing fountain, but the water's just kind of trickling out, and the water in the basin is like filmy, and there's little patches of like floating mucky stuff, and it whatever drainage once existed there has been largely clogged up as well, because the water's kind of leaking over the edge of the basin. So the ground is a little bit damp around
Well, give that a poke.
With my stick?
Yeah.
Okay. I poke it with my ferry stick.
10
Wow, the pole.
which is probably like, how long is that, like 10 or 12 feet? Is it the classic 10-foot pole?
Yeah.
Okay, so
From a distance.
you poke the water, and the text parser says you poke the water. Nothing untoward occurs.
Hmm.
At this point, a kind of a cold wind kind of blows into the courtyard and sweeps around and stirs up some leaves into the air.
I
Drifts away.
my woolen jacket a bit tighter. And just to ask, are there windows?
Yes, the windows. There's no glass. The windows are all. They're roughly equivalent to arrow slits. The exception being. Let me look at my map here. So. Let me grab my.
I think we can see your cursor, by the way.
Okay, and I think I can do a little. I can draw with my little pencil.
Yeah.
So this section here is actually. It looks like it was some kind of greenhouse or enclosed conservatory or something. So it's got like a metal structure, which the roof of it, I should say, the walls are stone, but when you look up, it looks like the roof had a metal structure that maybe once had glass in it, but it's just like a kind of skeletal remains against the sky there. All the other windows are, you can see, so do you see like this little thing right there?
Yep.
Those little dashes indicate a window that's probably about 9 or 10 inches wide by 2 or 3 feet high.
Sticking out
All around. There's a door here. There's a door here. And then this area here is a kind of cloistered walkway so facing the courtyard are a series of archways. That's what these are. Right? So this is an open space, but it does have a roof on it. So it's open to the elements, but it's a covered space. And from the distance, you guys are still all on this side of the fountain. You can see that there's some statues along the inner wall there.
Okay.
Ooh, statues.
Jaspar is gonna wander over to that greenhouse looking place to see if there's any interesting plants or that he can forage, or even just in this open courtyard. What's the plant life like?
So they're all the way along the edge of the whole building. There is an area of a sort of area lined with cut stone. There's planting areas, and you imagine, especially Jaspar, with your sort of background in these things, you imagine that once. I don't know. Did Jaspar ever set foot up on these grounds before? Would he have ever had occasion to come up to the manor?
Actually, he's been all over. Yes, he's been all over. Because his father was a poacher, and his father made him swear never to kill any of the animals, but he never made him swear not to take any of the plants.
So Jaspar would sneak up here
and take whatever was edible.
Got it. Take mushrooms or whatever.
Or flowers.
Sure. Okay. So then Jaspar is very familiar with the gardening in this area and all of the what do you call it when all the topiary, the kind of very carefully sculpted plants and shrubbery has all just withered and it's all just bare branches. Very few. The only thing with leaves on it is this kind of creeping viney bramble that seems to have taken over all of the beds around. And
does Jaspar know how recent this is? The withering of the plant life?
Well, I guess since the kind of manor was rumored to be haunted and people kind of shunned it after some villagers actually disappeared, would Jaspar have been brave enough to come up here, you think?
His intelligence is 8, but his wisdom is 16.
Oh, so okay. Yeah, so he could have ventured up here. I mean,
would it be wise enough not to?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's been like this for what was the
it was 2 weeks.
2 years.
Abandoned the manor has been abandoned for 2 years.
Okay.
2 years. Okay.
And shortly, and it's been like this, for most of that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and you, in fact, that there's nothing nothing edible or useful that you've been able to determine from.
Okay, cool.
Crispin would like to say to Ichtrude, begging your pardon, Governor, because it is a BBC production. Shouldn't we knock or announce ourselves? I mean, this is be pretty rude to just sort of barge in on the property.
I think that would be best. I'm not quite sure why we brought these other people as I watch them wandering around. Let's go to the front door. And I put my hand on my sword, and you know what that means. You're ready.
Yeah, okay, so Ichtrude proceeds towards the main stairs here.
Yes.
And Crespin accompanying?
Absolutely. Oh gosh, very much in my mind, the way that scene in Beauty and the Beast plays out, where Gaston and his little skittery sidekick, I see Crespin as the little skittery sidekick who is brave up until about 6 inches behind Gaston. And then, it's like a force field, but she will not go first. But like right up there, as officiously as his little neck cloth allows.
Got it. Okay, so does anybody else, as the constable and assistant proceed, is anybody going to accompany them, or are people more interested in kind of investigating the courtyard?
The rat catcher's looking around, see if they're probably if there's a lot of rats.
And Robinette will sort of follow behind.
Okay, so you guys are gonna.
Sure, we'll go with the crowd.
Not close, but sort of.
The 10
Hanging back.
A 10-foot distance.
Yes.
So there's a good space between Ichtrude and Crespin as they make their way up there. Okay. So you proceed up. The doors are actually one of them is actually off its hinges and broken. The other one's sort of standing wide open. The wind, there's leaves kind of accreted in the different corners of the room, and as you walk up these stairs and past these, there's a couple of ornamental urns on the at the top of the stairs there, and you step into this hallway, which is a kind of through the leaves and sort of dirt on the floor. You see there's like a checkerboard stone pattern. Directly ahead, these stairs. There we go. These stairs open up into some kind of space that you can't really see too far into. And once you step in here, you realize that, and looking ahead, it's pretty much dark, right? There doesn't appear to be any light at all. There's 6 statues in this hallway lining the wall. All of their heads have been removed.
Removed like by somebody smashing them, or cleanly removed?
At first glance, it looks like they've been struck off by some strong force, and you also notice as all of you are kind of approaching here, you notice that there are stone heads scattered about on the ground, on the floor of this cloistered area.
Allard is very interested to see if there's anybody he might recognize.
Yeah, he's got that book, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. He has a book of the natural history of the area from about 100 years ago to about 15, 20 years ago.
Great. So do you want to?
Yeah, I'll happy to burn a use on the book's got 5 uses, right, Jason?
Yep. And let me show you the move here. You can see that. Are the rules showing up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The move is find answers.
Oh, okay, great. Let's go with intelligence, which will because I'm studying the book, and I get a +1, I think, to my roll.
Because of the book or because of your intelligence modifier?
Oh, from the intelligence. I don't know. Does the book give me a bonus?
If you use the book, you get a bonus. Yeah, that's what the book does. You can actually not use the book and still try to guess, because your background is that you've studied this stuff. So
yeah, okay. Well, tell you what. Let me just use the intelligence first.
Okay.
And of course, with the hubris that I'm going to live to make 5 checks of the book, right? All right, here we go. Big money, big prizes. I got a 5. +1 is a 6.
Okay, so
and to use the damn book. I mean, I think that's the key takeaway.
Yeah. Now you're at a 6. Okay. So the margins, the 3 categories of roll are 10 or higher, which is yay. 7 to 9, which is a mixed result, and 6 or
7.
lower, which is usually a complication when things get worse. I make a move, which means I get to make things worse for you. So
Does he get
you're
an
right on the
experience
cusp right
point?
now. What's that?
Does he get an XP?
There's a certain moves that do that, but most of them don't.
Okay, got it.
The trade-off is that you mark the ability, and eventually that ability will level up or will increase. So Kevin, you're right. You got a 6 right now, and
Yep.
if you wanted to, so you can spend luck to increase a roll. You can only ever increase a roll by 1 point. So luck can only be spent to give you a +1. So it's only useful when you roll a 6 because you can turn it into a 7, or when you roll a 9 because you can turn it into a 10.
Into 10.
So if you wanted to right now, it all depends on how useful you'll think luck will be and how long you'll live.
You're not going to live that long, so.
You can turn this into a 7.
You know, I think I'm not going to burn it because my luck's already 7, and
Okay. All right. So you mark one little box on your intelligence there.
Yeah.
And,
Edit. How do I do that? I'm sorry.
there might be a little like a pen tool in the toolbar up above that you might be able
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'll look.
I'm going to start yelling out, does anyone have a candle? It's quite dark.
Yeah, does anybody have anything that would be useful?
Yeah, no, I already checked. Not really.
What's this?
Now you could establish. Remember how we you picked up gear from the village? You could if you wanted to say like, well, I got some candles when we were back in the village.
I'd like to establish that because
Why did we come? Well,
this is a common occurrence. You would walk into a house and there's no light switches. We would have to bring candles quite frequently.
Yeah. Would you bring candles or a torch or a lantern?
Candles.
Okay. Then you don't have to roll for that. I'll give them to you. There's no. Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense. So just write down that you have some candles.
Allard would have probably tried to grab whatever he could on the way out from wherever he was staying, either by borrowing or borrowing. So
I think Sister Cecile had candles to spare. So yeah, you could easily have some candles. Sorry, is that what you said? Did you say?
well, no, Allard and Sister Cecile do not actually get along. I imagine he was boarding with somebody in the town who had a room to rent. So I think, on the way out, he would have asked to take whatever light source the villager would give him. If that was a lantern, that would be great. If that was a torch, I would settle for that. And I can roll to see if I could have talked them out of it, maybe.
I'll give you the torch. If you want a lantern, you'll have to roll for it.
Jaspar looks around for a stout.
Let me roll for the
stick.
lantern.
For a stout what, Dean?
Stick.
So one at a time here. Roll for the lantern real quick. You're trying to establish that you got that from your.
All right. I got a 4.
It's an intelligence roll. So
yeah, +1, 5.
okay, boy. Now you just gave me another move. You get to mark intelligence. Dean, roll luck.
Oh, that's not 2d6, right?
Yep, 2d6 plus your luck modifier.
6.
Okay, the judge will say how your hopes are dashed. There is nothing in this area that could be used to make any kind of light source whatsoever.
Okay.
Kevin, you did not get a lantern, nor did you get a torch. Thanks to those rolls, the only light source you have is the candles that Ictrude was smart enough to bring with. Like, that is it. That's it for light sources. You'll have to find something else. And Kevin, would you roll a d12?
Oh, a D12. Okay.
Ooh.
I happen to actually have a D12. I'm very excited about this. Can we just mark that I think it's been probably 30 years since I rolled a D12 in anger?
Wow, really?
Oh, and it's an 11.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Just try not to
Rolling
roll
with
another one for
damage.
another 30 years and I'll be good.
You
need to
take
get a
11
halberd.
points of damage.
I take 11 points of damage. All right. That's only 9 more than I have.
Okay, so most of you have kind of made your way into this thing, and the scholar is kind of examining. What they're trying to figure out from the statues, and maybe even though you didn't technically use the book, maybe you're flipping through the book to try to find.
Yeah. Does this look like this guy? No. Is this guy? No. Oh,
The most you gather is that
Jason?
Yeah.
So Gabri, as the scholar's looking through, Gabri would like to get lucky with the heads to come across the original Baron's head.
Melissa can hear you, buddy.
He wants to get
Oh boy. No. Okay. Wait. To what end? Say that again, Bob.
So Gabri, if you recall, Gabri is well versed in the lore of Leget.
Yeah.
And so looking around, sort of kicking at random, he would like to be able to just stumble across and pick up, like Yorick.
Okay. And have it be like a recognizable head.
Right. The big mutton chops in his later years sort of distinguished him. The original Baron so many years ago.
Okay. Go ahead and get lucky.
Rolled a 12.
You did. Okay. But Alyssa, can you back that up?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
He's lying, isn't
He
he?
was checking the symbol.
Okay, yeah. So this is
66.
the sequence of events. All you have is candles. The scholar is like this is the problem is that Alar is like surveying the statues, and there's like mold growing on them, and you're like, oh well, that's definitely the raven. That's the house crest of Leget for sure. And you're kind of looking at them. You've maybe taken a step in this direction, and then you see a shape. A low shape, kind of a maybe 2 or 3 feet high. Something kind of shuffles away into the darkness at the top of the steps there. So that's what's very distracting to Alar. And you saw like a large, like kind of in sharp relief against these stairs, you saw a large kind of insectoid leg.
Ooh.
And then it quickly kind of disappears into the darkness. And
Did
then
you see a rat?
Mon Dieu!
And then at that same moment, Gabri, what's this? Reaches down and picks up a stone head off the floor, and indeed it's got the mutton chop sideburns of the first Baron of Leget Manor, whose name was Lazar Leget. And why is it that Gabri, like this likeness is so, like where previously has Gabri seen this likeness?
Well, it's described in the song. The bonny Baron, Lazar is his name. Into our fair lives long ago he did came. To best La Grenouille with guile unsurpassed. You know that dread toad could never last. Now that's the first stanza. Later on, it talks about the mutton chop.
Jason, you just walked into that as hard as you could possibly walk into it. It was like a trap laid out for you.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
And an eye shuffle away into the darkness.
A trap lined with dulcet tones. Who would avoid that trap? Okay, that's the situation. What are Jeannon and Jaspar up to in this hallway? Wait, who is that? Is that a little vampire?
It's Dr. Strange Tsum Tsum on some silly putty.
What is going on?
I entertained myself. We're just looking around.
Okay.
Jaspar has his hand on his knife. He doesn't like any of this. And but he's staying in the back just so that they get eaten first. And he wants to keep a direct path to the door.
Okay, so he's hanging back at the rear.
So he can run if he needs to.
And in the mix, where is Jeannon? Would Jeannon be back near the back too, or more sort of near the front?
No, she's in the middle.
Okay.
She doesn't approve of any of this. And she says out loud, "This is the stupidest thing anyone has ever done for 10 miles around. We're all going to die."
And Rob, where's Hoyvin, the trapper?
Hoyvin is he'd be pulling up the rear here, but if he hears that there is some kind of critter loose, who saw the insectoid leg?
Yeah, that would be Alar. So
Alar did, and he will certainly shriek and make small, high-pitched scholar noises, and as one does traditionally when one sees something horrible in the corner of one's eye in the dim twilight in October in a decaying French mansion. Manse, I'm sure it's a manse.
It's got to be a manse. Well,
do you need me to roll to kind of shriek effeminately?
No roll necessary, but if you feel like actually demonstrating the shriek, I'm sure that would be appreciated. Not gonna do it.
What did you see?
It was in the darkness. It was a leg of some sort. God bless me. I can't do this accent to save my life. It was a leg, some sort of horrible thing with joints. It looked like a giant bug. Ugh, disgusting.
The Leget
He's played
rat.
by that one American actor in the BBC production.
Right. Kevin, I'm sure there's a YouTube video that can teach us how to use bad French accents.
Well, I'm trying not to do like the Monty Python, we are, the Spanish Inquisition sort of, or
that's at the castle.
I will taunt you again.
Taunt you a second time.
Spare you that.
So that would be the greatest thing. Actually, we listened to that, or I listened to it. The boys watched it in the van the other day when we were driving through Vermont, or home from Vermont.
So shrieking and pointing.
Yeah, so a large shrieking and
possibly gesticulating.
So Hoivan will get out his best rat trap.
Okay.
He'll start walking down in the direction where he is pointing.
Okay.
See if I can catch something special.
Anybody else accompanying him, or are you gonna just wait and see what the rat trapper does?
Well, Igtrude and Crespon are at the door, and I guess I don't know. Are we distracted enough to walk over? Or are we?
No, we're lighting candles. We're going in the main door.
Are we passing out the candles?
I'll take a candle.
Yeah, I will definitely pass out some candles because I think we'll need candle coverage.
Jaspar,
like good
takes
internet.
a candle, roughly.
Like good internet, yeah. Candles were the internet of the 12th century. How else could knowledge be dispersed at night? Great, yeah, so everybody gets a candle. That's totally cool.
Yeah,
so
anybody who wants one gets one.
And is it like a purposeful stride? Is it a cautious approach? How's he?
Oh, he's stalking.
He's just,
yeah.
There's a varmint, I'm after it.
That's right.
And does he do that before he gets a candle, or does he take a candle with him?
Does it get particularly dark down there?
Definitely up the stairs at the end there. It's just darkness beyond. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't want to give my position away.
Okay.
And so he will stalk down there in the darkness, trying to. I mean, he's in the dark a lot in his line of work.
Okay.
He probably has an amazing sense of smell.
I will say that Gabri is following, I don't know, 5-10 feet behind him.
Gabri is?
And is still like singing to himself through the rest of the, the song. So
I've shushed you 8 times. So, shush him a second time.
Okay, so are you gonna? So he's trying to keep you quiet because he's obviously trying to make a stealthy approach. Are you gonna shush? Or are you gonna keep? I forget. Do you have an instrument?
I do a lyre.
You have a lyre. Wow. Okay.
I'm trying to juggle it all. I'm trying to hold the head and at the same time sort of pluck. Maybe I've cradled the head in the crook of my arm like a baby.
Dum, dum. So these
lyre is sort of.
Janon has her clackers out, but so to speak. But she's not. She's holding them tight to the clackers so that they don't clack.
Are these the fortune-telling clackers?
Yes.
So Gabri and Oivan approach these stairs. Oivan asks Gabri to hush, and doesn't sound like that's happening. Is that right?
No.
So frustrating.
And then you, with your dim candle, you sort of step up to the top of the stairs.
Remember, Oivan does not have a candle lit, but
okay, so this will be just the ambient light from coming in, the sort of dim sunlight. You know, it's an overcast day outside, so the gray light is coming in, and you're looking at a checkerboard floor. These 3 steps just rose a few feet off of the level of the cloisters out there, and you know, there's scattered leaves and stuff, and you smell the smell of the faint smell of maybe it's like rotting fruit off to the right, to the east in this room. And as your eyes adjust to the light, so you're sort of standing on the threshold with your rat trap out, and as your eyes adjust to the light, yeah, you're going to have to venture further in to get much. It's like an open space, but you do hear like a off to the east as well. So from the east, there's this faint smell of rotting fruit and a faint kind of clacking noise.
Hmm.
And Gabri, and then there's the
Robinette, bring that pole over here.
Gabri, the lair must be close. I smell the fruit.
Shannon says, wouldn't it be safer just to burn the whole mansion down and call it a day?
It is mostly stone. There's probably some timber structure somewhere, but where you're standing right now, everything looks like it's made of stone.
I don't know, these old
That makes sense.
mansions, they go up like tinder.
Oh, Ictrude curses you. Of course not. The lady will come back here and live here as soon as we have cleared out this
And then we
curse.
can haunt her.
Oh, very well said, sir. Very well said. Yes, absolutely. The mansion will be re-inhabited by the good lady, and I'm sure she'll make us all better.
I don't even need to look into the future to know how wrong that is.
Ictrude is going to take your candle and proceed up that stair.
Okay.
Look around in there.
Great.
Verite, the sword my mentor gave me.
Oh, nice. So candle in left hand, or whatever hand is the off hand.
Yeah, my shield will. Well, I have to give the shield to Crespin so I can hold the candle. So here, hold the shield.
Or you can have Crespin.
The shield actually.
But Ictrude, the saint is my shield.
Great. So Crespin.
It's my faith to defend me. Ah, crap! I can't hold on to the accent.
And you've got your. That's an elf accent, by the way.
Oh, thank God.
He's quite offended.
That was Scottish, yeah.
And so Crespin's got the candle and a short sword. Is that right?
Yeah, the short sword blessed by Sister Cecile, no doubt.
So you gradually reveal
These pillars, these black dots.
Those are pillars. Yep. There is an opening. There's a doorway in the north wall, and there's an opening in the south wall.
And Jason, I'll totally take the shield. I just will protest too much before.
Great, got it. So you got the shield. They're now affixed to these pillars. Let's see. Or connected to them, like here, here, and here, are actually like a folding screen, like a just a temporary screen that can be detached, and it's painted with pastoral scenes of the countryside that are kind of, they're flaking, and time has not been kind. And it's only been a couple of years since people are moving in these halls, but the sort of depredations of the elements have crept into this area because there's no door on the stairs you just came up. This is again an open space. There are two in this area to the north. There's two sideboards against the wall, and behind the screen is a table. It looks like on this sideboard is the candlelight glints off of a silver tea service. So there's like a silver, a silver teapot and a tray and 8 little cups that are actually kind of neatly placed. And there's a large, on this table here, there's a large silver bowl that looks like there's like ornate design around the edge of it. So it's a silver bowl, almost like the size of a punch bowl, let's say.
So Jason, would these things be like worth a fortune to the villagers?
To you guys, so silver is the coin of the realm. So the common coinage would be little silver coins.
It's made of money.
But most of what you guys do is barter. There's not actually a whole lot of exchange of actual currency. So silver itself, yes, is considered that's extremely valuable.
Also good for stabbing werewolves with.
Yeah, I guess according to local legend. The
But,
soothsayer says,
Garoo.
but as we all know, this is the lady's property, so no one
Well,
No,
would
of
put
course
a
not.
as
finger
long as we
on
don't
anything.
leave with it, we haven't stolen it.
well,
We can carry it around the house, can't we?
Lintrude did say that in thanks
yeah.
for clearing the mansion, you can take whatever you can carry.
Okay.
That's fair.
So we're going to look for sharp silver things.
Okay.
Knives, forks.
So you're gonna like rifle through the sideboards and stuff.
Just look.
So,
Dean,
which one of your characters is got this werewolf? I mean, this vampire.
Is it Zenon or
Jaspar is the forager, so he's going to forage for some silver weapons.
But he's not. He's just looking at a distance. He's assessing.
He's looking at what's on top of the sideboard. He's not going into drawers yet.
Okay, so the only thing besides the tea service in the bowl is when you get closer to the bowl, and he's got a candle, right? Jaspar's got a candle. You hold that up and you look in, and it looks like maybe like 2 years ago somebody made like a fancy dessert in this bowl. It's like a collapsed bread pudding, kind of, right? Like it's just like a cracked mass stuck in that bowl.
But no silverware.
Not lying about. No.
Are there drawers in this sideboard?
Yeah. It's like
he's going to open the drawers. Yeah.
Okay. Will you get lucky?
Jaspar can't get lucky. 6.
Okay, and just so you guys know, there's no way to increase a luck roll. When you get lucky, you use luck, and there's no way to actually boost that. It's just
you can't luck the luck.
You can't luck the luck.
Makes sense.
So that's what's your luck? What's your luck modifier?
-2.
Oh, so you rolled an 8?
I rolled an 8. Yeah.
Okay. So Ictrude and Crespin are nearby, and as you bend down and you pull open the cabinet, you guys see that the bread pudding like slurps up out of the punch bowl, and Jaspar is not aware of this, but it just looks like it's about to like drop right on him. So what is I'm going to say, Ictrude, you're a woman of action. What do you do?
I push him.
You push him out of the way?
Yeah.
Great. Then you can make a saving throw with dexterity, I think.
Great. Saving throw? Oh.
So the terminology in this game, I just used saving throw. It's kind of the default move.
As my first roll, I have rolled snake eyes.
You rolled snake eyes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, here's
What's your plus to dexterity?
0, I believe.
So you get to Ictrude gets to mark dexterity.
That's her last.
I was just going to say last action.
Okay. What else?
And so you go to push Jaspar out of the way, and so you've got the sharp sword in one hand, and the candle in the other.
Candle in the other hand.
So how
drop the candle
and drop the candle and a
shove.
Okay. And just quick, and you don't shout at anything. You just do that, right?
No, I'm like, this thing is gonna fall right on him.
Okay, so you push him.
What a mess!
Jaspar out of the way, and the thing goes, and it just lands on your arm.
Okay.
What are you wearing on your upper body?
So I have like my
plate mail.
My constable vest.
You're like surcoat. You're like
it's like a tan vest, just cloth, but it's my shirt of office.
It's fancy.
And then just my dirty shirt. I'm not a believer in laundry, and so I've got this kind of long sleeve wool shirt.
Okay, so this thing goes onto your free that arm that you were using to shove Jaspar out of the way. So you did it. You actually pushed him out of the way, but now this mass this sudden weight actually, and as it hits your arm, it drops your arm to the ground because it's quite heavy.
I stagger to my knees.
And it's kind of stretched out so that some of it's still in that bowl, right? So it's like
Oh.
a big wad of gooey gum or something, which has slammed your arm into the ground.
Is it painful?
Not yet. So Jaspar has been pushed aside. Crespin, I think it's Trude's turn to act again because I assume Crespin is a little shocked by.
He is shocked. He is probably let out a gasp of some French nature, and is just horrified and isn't quite sure what he's even looking at.
Yeah, Trude is. Well, she'll drop the sword and just kind of try to peel it off of her arm.
Okay. Gaspar says, "Hey, what?" And pulls his knife.
Okay, Jaspar pulls his knife, and Ictrude grabs it with a free hand and tries to peel.
Yeah.
Okay, so just this is the moment where if you don't succeed at this roll, whatever this thing could do to hurt you is going to happen. So I'm just letting you know that that's what's at stake.
I may want my luck point here. And what kind of roll is it? Could it be possibly a strength?
That's precisely what kind of roll it could be.
All right. Well, that is the one thing that Ictrude can do. She's very strong. So a 16, I think, is a +2.
Yeah.
All right. Now gladly burn luck on this. I got a 9, so that's an 11. So I don't think I have to burn luck.
Nicely done.
Nice. Yeah, great. So you as soon as your arm hits the ground, you immediately like dig your fingers underneath it and yoink it off. There's like and as you pull it off, it tears the sleeve. Your sleeve sticks to it like super glue. So your sleeve actually is ripped off of your arm.
Okay.
And there's a little bit, you can feel a little bit of like a stinging on your arm itself. And do you like throw it? Because
I throw it back in the pot, the bowl.
Okay, so you kind of throw it up. Okay.
Yeah.
So you throw it up and it kind of half, it goes and sort of lands half up. So there's still like a big ooze kind of halfway out of the pot, but you got most of it back into the pot. Jaspar, what do you do?
I'm cursing Jaspar, by the way, for being a clumsy fool as I do this.
What does Jaspar do?
Oh, sorry, that's me.
That's you.
Jaspar considers for a moment whether it would be wise to stab this thing.
Oh, interesting. He's trying to assess.
Yes, because it's oozy, so stabbing it might not do anything because there's nothing to stab. It's like stabbing a pudding.
It's a bread pudding, you fool.
So are you gonna? You can find answers and make a roll with intelligence or wisdom to
Yes,
that.
I would like to find answers with my wisdom whether I should stab this or not.
Go for it. So it's like you're sensing or discerning that.
Yeah.
Make a roll. Oh, look at the baby.
Look at that thing.
A 9.
Got a 9. You're pretty. I'm going to say. So it says my answer is cryptic or incomplete, but I'll tell you how to learn more. And the way you could learn more is actually by stabbing it.
Yeah.
But I will say
when in doubt,
there's enough doubt there. Your doubt is well founded. Like definitely.
Yeah.
Given your understanding of its physical properties so far, it seems like that knife might not do it.
Jaspar, having considered stabbing it, will back away, brandishing his knife. Come at me, bro.
And what does Crespin do after this is all unfolded in front of him?
The ancient diseased confection is mostly in the punch bowl.
Mostly, yeah. It's like there's like
he also yells, "Burn it! Burn it!"
Is there a way to flip the? There was a silver tray. Is there a way to get the silver tray and use that to like scrunch the thing back in there and seal it up in the punch bowl?
To put a lid on it.
Like a lid on it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but half of it is still out. It's like hanging halfway out. So you might have to. You could certainly put a lid on it, but then half it would still be hanging halfway out.
Question: has anyone yelped or made any sort of loud noises?
I have. I
To the
said, burn
attention
it,
of
burn it.
Robinette?
Yeah, you say burn it, burn it. So was
Oh, there's all kinds of yelling and shouting going on.
Ah! Son of a bitch! Suck
Robinette
my bleed!
What is
Robinette
this
had
I
proceeded
hear?
just
You clod.
and my understanding is that Oivin, Gabri, and Robinette were up to the north. Is that right?
Oh no,
That's right.
I think Robinette was staying closer to
Okay,
Crespon.
okay.
Yeah, Robinette.
Yeah,
is
well,
up there.
Robinette totally knows what's going down. Yeah, Robinette's basically in the room then.
Yeah.
Is everybody away from the thing? Like, is anybody still close to it? Or Trude kind of tossed it.
Robinette has an idea.
According to these, I have a 10-foot pole.
Like a medieval knight comes
Just gonna lance it.
charging in with a 10-foot pole.
I like to shove it back in the bowl.
Shove it back in. Okay.
Crespon will put himself between the blob and Ictrude so that Ictrude can recover because Crespon wants to defend and protect their leader.
Wow.
That's excellent.
Bringing it. Okay, great. So Crispin does that, and then Robinette appears and charges.
And football?
Attempts to lance the bread pudding with her
Excellent.
pole.
The bread pudding.
That is the
You're
worst
not really
looking
trying
pudding.
to fight it, right? You're just trying to push it back into the.
Shove it back in, yes.
Yeah.
You are expert with that pole.
Yes, thank you.
So that seems to be a question of accuracy to me. So,
Dealing with river muck on the barge, you know how to get muck to go where you need it to go.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, great. Roll that dexterity.
Look at that muck.
Yeah. So what?
Oh my God, it's bilateral babies.
I know. These people are
it's
nuts.
For
They
Robinette,
can't even roll dice. They
Okay,
have too many
very
babies in their
roll.
hands.
Roll babies.
And Robinette's dex is 9, right? So +0.
All right. Oh, so Alyssa should do the roll.
Yes.
There you go.
And Ictrude, I'm covering you so you can recover the blade or whatever you need to do.
Yeah, I can pick up my blade and my candle. I knew choosing
9.
you, Crespon, was the right thing to do.
Say again, 9?
9.
Mm-hmm.
Good roll. Solid.
9.
So that's a mixed roll. You do it, but there's a catch. I'll offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. If you
Yes,
burn
you
a
get to
point of
choose.
luck, that'll change into a 10. So I'm just making you aware that that's an option.
You have luck to burn.
Let's use it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So Robinette, to everyone around the immediate people in the immediate vicinity, much to their surprise, charges into the room, and one sharp, perfectly placed jab of the 10-foot pole pokes the thing, and it's yanked back with enough speed so the thing is not able to like latch on. That one jab makes it kind of like recoil like that, and Crespin has an opportunity to slap a silver
Slap the lid on.
tray on there. If that's what Crespin was planning.
Very nice. Very nice.
Clang!
Hardest moment.
Yeah, so clang.
Very nice.
So you do that, and it goes, and you feel it push. Everybody sees it push the lid up against your hand, and you can see it, the mass of it kind of pushing up.
My God.
We need some rocks.
Can we throw it? That's not a well out there, is it? It's
No, my friends, what can we use to keep the pudding in the bowl?
Cooking. Fire.
The dough has risen.
Wait, Jason, is the back door open? Are those doors still there? We've come in through the inner courtyard, but you can see there's doors to the outside.
Yes, those doors are closed. Yeah.
Okay, Ictrude throws open one of those doors and says, "Throw it out there."
Okay, great. Yeah, so Q bangs open one of those doors. There's a wind blowing outside, leaves are. And is Crespin gonna follow that order?
I'm not sure I've got an angle on that. I've got a shield arm kind of holding this down, and the sword must have gone back in the scabbard, so I'm just trying to hold this thing on. So I'll keep the lid, but someone must move the bowl.
Robinette is in, or Jaspar are in position to do that.
Robinette, you wanna pitch it out?
Yes.
I think it is hungry.
Yes, I will be so brave and pitch it out. the window.
That seems so. I think Robinette's making the move, and it sounds like Crespin is helping because Crespin is trying to keep it contained, right?
Yep.
So the move is Robinette's, and
They have a bond, Jason. I don't know if that helps.
you could burn that bond to give you an extra +1.
What is their bond?
Robinette saved me from an untimely fall at the speech. Remember, I kind of stumbled on the podium.
Oh, that's right.
Robinette gracefully kept me from embarrassing
With
myself.
the pole as
Yeah,
well,
with the
right?
pole, expert polesmanship.
So I am totally, you know, there to help.
Yeah, so I think Robinette is making a, I think it's a strength roll because it's a pretty heavy thing, and you've got to basically leverage it out that door.
Strength.
So it's going to be a strength roll, and you get +1 for the help of Crespin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to burn the bond, is that a bond with you guys to Crespin, or the other way around? Is it written on your sheet? On Robinette's sheet?
Let's see. Bond Robinette 1. It's on my sheet.
Yeah, so
And,
that's actually,
and Igtrude 1 actually as well.
yeah, so Crespin.
I'm helping my bondies.
You are.
I'm certainly happy if it pleased the lady to it would be my honor for our bond, for me to have helped you and equalized the obligation that I owe you.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that would be lovely.
I love the idea that this exchange is actually happening while you're
Yes.
so Kevin, you're going to mark that bond, and to refresh that bond, you need to have some kind of positive social interaction with Robinette in the future. And Robinette, make the roll. It's a strength roll, and you get +2 because Crespin is helping and burning a bond in addition.
Two of those.
Here we go.
Oh,
That-
eight.
8.
Total of 8. Okay. Trude's holding the door open. Robinette grabs the bowl. Crespin tags along, holding that lid on, and you throw the bowl out the door. And we cut back to Oivin and Gabri, who are in the north room while all this is going on.
Finished baiting my favorite trap with a stinky piece of fruit, because I know these rats like fruit.
Okay.
It's a prune. I have some rotten prunes that I carry with me just in case.
Okay, I'll buy that. And are you planting it somewhere?
Yes. I will creep into the darkness, not so far that I'm in pitch black, but as far into the gray as I can, and then slide the trap towards the rotten fruit smell.
Okay. So there's a little stairway up. It's an interior stairway that just goes up a couple feet to a little platform. There's a door here. There's some opening here, some space here. And you basically get to the, and there's a door here as well. So putting the trap between the stairs and the door seems like the edge of the dim light that you might be talking about. Do you want to go past the stairs, or does that seem like a good spot?
That seems like a good spot.
Okay. So you put the prune in there and you set down the rat trap, which is, I assume, is just like a foot or so long. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then you like back away.
Mm-hmm. Creep slowly backwards, eyes towards the traps to see if I can see the strange rat that might live in here.
Will you roll a d12 for me?
A d12.
Yes, please. If you have one handy.
Kevin,
somebody else can roll.
Kevin, would you roll?
It would be my
D12
pleasure.
for
All
the
right.
second time.
Yeah.
Big money, big prizes. I love it. A 7. That's lucky.
Yeah, I like that number.
Okay, and then Kevin, will you roll a d8? How long has it been since you rolled a d8?
Probably about the same, I'm afraid.
God, have you not swung
No,
a
I've rolled
longsword?
D8s in one of our board game things. I've definitely rolled D8s since those. Oh, crud. I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Sorry. Or I'm glad. I don't know if that's a damage die or
if
what.
that was a D8 damage, that was a wonderful.
So Oivin is taking a step back, and you step on something, goes under your foot, and your foot slips out from underneath you, and you stagger back and land on your butt, sort of right near the top of that first stairwell there, like right here.
Yeah.
And you look at your feet, and there's a smear, like a blood red, gooey smear where your foot just was. And then off to the left, you see a mass about this big, also blood red in color, but not squished, and it's like some kind of slug. And it's sort of like, it's slowly kind of like slurping across the floor towards you.
Gabrie's nearby. I think.
Gabri, bring that candle here.
Yeah, sort of move up and oh no, and just like apply the boot. Apply that hobnail boot.
Please apply that.
Lard is nearby and will offer his staff to help the rat catcher up, since we were sitting next to each other in the
That's right.
in the speech.
Oh yeah, and Dean, where is Jeannon through all of these various activities?
Jeannon is with the silver.
Okay, Jeannon's okay, got it. So
Yeah.
that
Team
gang's
Silver.
down. Great. So it's 5 of you guys down there and 3 of you up here in this other area. Great. So Alar helps up Oivan, and Gabri goes to stomp on the thing. This is actually a fight roll.
Ooh.
So
It's not much of a fight.
No, not much
I
of a
was
fight.
Reverse
thinking
that
that.
slug.
Fight is a strength test.
All right. Let's see. That is an 8.
What's that shape? That's a 6.
Okay, so in the fight move, when you fight, the wording is you deal your weapon's damage or effect, but suffer the enemy's attack in return.
So I'm going to say that I was holding this stone head with the button tabs.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to drop it.
Okay. Instead of stomping, you're trying to drop the head on it.
Yeah, I suppose that's no, actually I said I was applying the boot. I apply the boot.
Good. I appreciate your commitment there.
Yes.
Got to commit to the bit.
What kind of damage could the slug possibly do to you? You're slimed. You're
yeah,
fine.
so you go.
You have a spinal cord. It does not. It's not a fair fight.
And as you do that, Allard notices that Oivan's boot is steaming, where he stepped on the. Apparently, there was another slug that Oivan stepped on, and now his boot is kind of there's steam coming out of his boot.
Is it burning my foot?
No, but something is happening there with your foot, and you smash. Gabri just smashes that slug, and well, I mean, you're an elf, so you have perfect balance. You don't slip at all, but it's just like a perfect. But when you pick your foot up, it's a little resistant. There's a little stickiness, and you take a step back, and the same thing is happening. Your boot is starting to get. It's like giving off a really nasty smelling, kind of smoky vapor.
Ugh. Oh no. Oh no.
Have I possibly seen something like this in my studies that I might be able to warn my colleagues?
Did your studies involve the fauna of?
Well, it was naturalistic, kind of all over the map, easily distracted, not very deep, unfortunately. I don't think any physical chemistry stuff. It was all sort of natural, herbal, that stuff.
Sure, yeah. No, but I mean, as a kind of in that one survey class you took.
Exactly right. And I should have been writing my thesis. I took an other elective class because, of course, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, you can certainly roll for that. You would not be able to use the book because it doesn't fall under the title of the book. But for sure, you can roll to find answers.
Okay, so that would be against intelligence. Does that sound reasonable?
In this case, for sure, because you're recalling your studies. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I've got a +1 to that, and it is a 10.
Excellent.
Natural 9 +1.
I give you a clear and thorough answer, and you can ask follow-up questions.
Ooh, outstanding.
So what's the question?
The question is, what is this sluggish thing? What is happening to their boots?
Okay, you recall the entry in whatever text you were required to read this seminar.
He wasn't required to read that one, but it was the one he read.
Right.
No, it was in the area of the study, roughly at eye height, and I picked it off the shelf because I wasn't.
Great. Yeah, they're simply called red slugs, and they are a pest that are that any gardeners the land over. It's the worst possible thing that could get into your garden. They're super nasty, and they excrete some kind of, I don't know what would the medieval terminology be, Kevin? You'd have a better.
An ichor.
Yes, there's some kind of biting ichor that
A dark humor, something.
can eat away. You know, when it's been in somebody's garden, they can. There's even like there'd be like a hole in the fence where the thing had eaten through.
Had eaten its way through. Do I recall any folk remedies or advice to the traveler that in terms of how one might
to counteract the dairy products, milk.
Milk. Garçon, a glass of milk for my friends. I did not write milk down on my character sheet, and I just, God bless me, have no reason to go back and say that I'm somehow carrying milk. But I will share this with my friends. Oh my gosh, it is a red slug. Anyway, convey this to both my colleagues.
Yeah, so, and Ivan's didn't get sort of enough on him. It looks like your boot's going to survive.
Ivan's boot will survive.
Ivan's boot will survive, but Gabri needs to actually take off his footwear before the stuff eats into his actual foot. Like the sole of his leather, whatever pseudo-Scottish footwear Gabri's wearing.
I think Alyssa is in charge of Gabri right now.
The boots
So can you get him? Can you get the bard killed, Alyssa, right now? Like eat the slug or something. We need the bard to die, or he comes up with another song.
Because he actually brought a gallon of milk with him, so he's protected from all.
I would totally buy it because of all that food stuff. Remember that where he was like putting stuff in your pockets? You could totally. There's totally feasible. You'd have some milk with you.
Dude, slugs not like milk? I'm sorry.
No, these slugs do not like milk. Dairy products neutralize the horrible ichor of the slug rouge, the rouge slug.
The slug rouge. It would counteract the acid.
Gabri is telling me from off screen that he has traditional goat's milk on him. A horn of goat's milk.
Okay, great. That's I'll have to roll. You'll have to roll to establish that though.
Okay, you have to roll to establish that. What am I rolling?
It's an intelligence roll. So whatever your intelligence, whatever Gabri's intelligence modifier is. Do you have the character sheet there, or do you need? I can tell you. Gabri has a 9 intelligence, so there's no modifier. Two 6-sided dice.
Ooh, it's a 10.
You got a 10.
Wow.
10.
Great, indeed. Gabri produces a horn of goat's milk and squirts it on his boot. And the sizzling stops, and he has managed to save his boot, so he doesn't have to go barefoot.
Come on, Alyssa, I was trying to get you.
Does that mean that does that mean that Gabri and Allard are now pals or have a bond?
You could. Yeah, it's more.
If it's a stretch, don't sweat it. I was just like,
because we did already sort of set up that that's how Crispin and
Ex friends.
Yeah, sure. I'll grant that for sure.
Okay.
Can Janan establish something?
Yes.
She saw years ago that Gabri would lose his soul today.
Wait, hold on. Oh my God.
Wait, I want Gabri to.
Are we seeing Twilight Imperium feuds interfere with role playing right now?
No, just maybe the word.
Sure, Jenon can try to establish that that's a vision that Jenon had.
This is the day.
Wait,
What do I roll?
that would be an intelligence roll.
That's an intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay. Only a 6. So that didn't happen.
You get to mark intelligence.
What is marking intelligence?
So on your character sheet, your intelligence, all your abilities have 4 little check boxes, and you can just use them all.
Yeah, okay. How do I mark it?
I think.
Oh, there's a little thing here.
Is there like a pencil or a?
Maybe there's a pencil. Yeah. Okay.
That was genius, Dean. I'm sorry you only rolled a 6.
Yeah, I know. Oh, but it doesn't stay.
You rolled a 6, and that means I make a move, and the move is that, in fact,
you saw somebody else's soul.
Jenon actually had a vision that Jenon was going to suffer terribly this day.
Oh.
And it's just, there's something you see, there's something that happens that it's like a deja vu moment where like, so that silver bowl just got thrown out the door. This is simultaneous with the slug situation. The silver bowl gets thrown out the door, and like some faint, so like there's more light streaming in from that door that Ichtrude threw open, and like a leaf blows into the room, and Jenon has this moment of like, wait, I saw this, and this chill, or I don't know how Jenon feels about mortality actually, so I'm not gonna say that, but Jenon realizes that this is like a premonition that she had long ago, and it does not bode well for her.
Ooh. Karma's a bitch.
Like that.
Okay.
And the bowl, the silver bowl clatters down the stairs outside, and kind of rolls to a stop on the sloping, withered, grassy hillside. The lid actually kind of stuck to the thing inside, right? So the lid, actually, like as if the thing is sticky. And then as it sort of comes to a rest, Ichtrude, as you look out the door, the thing sort of slowly starts to ooze out of the bowl.
Oh, I slammed the door shut.
Okay.
Oh, glad we've cleared the curse. Unless you think it was more than that?
Well done, well done.
I did expect it would be larger.
Less food-based.
Yeah, so we're back in that room with the
yeah, but Allard is not in here, right? He's around the corner, and
that's
so
right.
Ichtrude was.
Allard is up with the bug hunt.
Yep.
Right, and so Ichtrude is kind of looking for guidance from somebody who assumes they know something. And Dean's,
it's both both elves actually. The scholar and the troubadour are the ones who think they know stuff. Yeah.
right. So
Well,
they're not in there.
I'm sorry. The soothsayer.
I thought I knew stuff, but
How does I want to know how Trude feels about Jenon the soothsayer? Like, what's your guys's?
Right. Ichtrude like scans across the room and sees the soothsayer drained of all color, perhaps.
Yeah.
Like some kind of.
I remembered. I just remembered that today was the day that bad things were going to happen to me.
You say that out loud?
I just remembered, and because here we are, and bad things are happening to me.
Such a morale builder.
You are the village soothsayer.
Yes, but I have a bad memory.
But. Well, do you remember what we're supposed to do today?
I say things, and then other people remember them.
Okay. Could you say a sooth now to tell us where to go and what to do?
Sure. Yes. I start clicking my clackers.
You sure do. And what's the question you're asking the universe?
Where should we go to
remove the curse?
To remove the curse. Sure.
Okay. Great. So you're finding answers, and we already said that. We already figured out that you can use charisma to charm the universe into giving you the answer.
You betcha. And that's a 12.
Natural.
Okay.
No, it's a 10 plus 2 charisma. I charm and clack, 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 clack.
And then they stop. And the whole room, I think, is looking at you as you do your crazy clacky thing.
It's not a quiet thing to see the future.
And to be clear, the question was, how do we lift
where do we go to lift this curse? In this house. We know it's in the house.
Yeah, so the answer you get back is you have the sensation of falling, the clackers stop, and you have the sudden sensation that you're falling basically through the floor.
Okay.
And then you like you actually feel like you are actually literally falling through the floor, and then as soon as your eyes hit floor level, you sort of lurch back into the moment, and everybody just sees you kind of like jolt, and you feel like you were being drawn toward the source of the darkness. So the answer is below you.
The basement. We must go down. Forget about the second floor. There's nothing up there but pain. The basement.
Okay. One of these hallways or doorways is open, right? There's no door to the south.
That's right. It's an open space.
Yeah. I hold my candle up and kind of shine it, or at least peer down that way.
Yeah. You can see about that far with the candle.
Jason, is there anything in this room that would make a better light source than what we've got going now?
Ooh.
Would there be torches on the wall from like sconces there, or lighting that was there from a party, lanterns, anything?
There might be. Yes. You can get lucky to find an actual torch in one of these wall sconces. There are sconces on the walls. It's just a question of whether they.
Is getting lucky burn luck?
No.
No. Okay.
It's a luck roll.
It's a luck roll.
But just before you do it, so without the luck roll, no, there's no torches. So you can get lucky to find one.
Okay.
But if you roll a 6 or less, things don't go your way. It's not just that nothing happens. Right?
It won't just be like wah wah wah.
Right.
It'll be wah wah.
And that could be something like, oh, Trude's candles are actually not that good, or it could be unrelated, right?
It should be related to the idea of light, right? Because that's the goal. And for this particular for Get Lucky, it should be related to the thing you're hoping for. But that is the candles are related, so that could fit in there, yeah. So it's a question. What's your luck?
My luck is 7. It's got a -1 to the roll. I think. Yeah. Bon chance. We're gonna do it.
Okay.
The goddess. Oh, God in heaven. Well, I love the goddess, but I'm not so sure that the saint loves me. So I rolled a 2.
Okay.
Natural 2. So technically a 1.
Yeah. So that is the point at which 2 of the candles reach the end of their short lives. And it's the 2 people who, with the lowest luck, who have candles right now.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. I've got a 5. Jaspar.
Yeah, Jaspar, I think you count there. I can give a real quick survey here. We got 13.
I got a 2. Both of my guys have a 7.
Yeah, so Gabri and Jaspar are the losers.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I was hoping for a bright, burning torch.
I think between you all, you still have about 6 candles left, but 2 of them just guttered out.
Gabri, in the haste to get out his horn of milk, set it aside, and perhaps
there we go.
It fell over, rolled away into the darkness, something along those lines.
Great.
It's got red goop on it now.
Yeah.
And Ichtrude, as you peer into that room holding your candle aloft, you see just the edge of a table right at the edge of the darkness to the south. Some kind of just the foredge of a table that extends off into the darkness.
All right. Well, I'm a little wary since we encountered that strange pudding. I am going to ask the ferry pilot with her long pole to perhaps be our our leader here to poke her way into this room.
Wait.
Yes,
To be the leader, I thought the brave constable with sword and board was.
Well, Robinette, you don't have to go into the room. Just poke around it, and then I'll go
It
in.
is, after all, 10 feet long.
It is many feet long.
Very long.
Var var.
Very
So are
long.
you saying like tap the floor, that kind of thing?
Well, more the table. If there's another bowl on there or anything, like I show her my ripped shirt. I lost the sleeve.
Yeah.
Came from
So you guys are. So it sounds you're going to get a little further into the room to poke the table,
Mhm.
but you still got the 10-foot pole. So you see a little bit more.
Yes, we did.
Can I look
We didn't know
up
where it came from.
Can you look up?
just to, God help us?
That's very smart of you. Yeah, the candle actually. The floor is like 15 foot long. That
Dungeon
candle,
World.
when you hold that up, it just barely
Yeah.
illuminates the
No.
cobwebby
Jason.
feeling there. So you're out there holding up, scanning around. You're not seeing, there's weird shadows that seem a little creepy, and maybe but you don't notice anything really strange. So when you get Robinette and Ichtrude advance a little bit further into the room, the table starts basically there, and you see a chair at either side of the table. It's obviously like a big dining table of some kind. And seated in each of these chairs is a human skeleton. Also, there are place settings. Oh, and to Jaspar's interest, the place settings have silverware.
Ah,
Yay!
silver weapons.
Knives and forks for everyone.
Yeah, so that's about as much as you can see that room right now.
How are the skeletons positioned? Like they
As
were
if
about
they
to
were
die?
as if they were seated for a meal.
Ah, yes.
Poke them.
I poked them. I already poked them.
It's quite disturbing.
They are garbed. They do have clothing on that's sort of insect eaten and sort of obviously hanging off their bones. So they are clothed
Beautifully in the baronial style, or did the stable guys come in for a snack?
It looks like nice clothes. Yeah.
Oh,
Slit sleeves and the
mon Dieu!
serge. Okay, and did you say Robinette was going to poke one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So where do you poke it?
I mean,
right in the noggin.
yes, where you logically would poke a skeleton right in the skull.
Where all most of the bone is.
Right.
You give it a poke in the head, and it goes like that, and then it goes turns and looks at you.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It starts on fire and we're all dead.
So how does Robinette? I mean, Robinette's a bit of a. Does Robinette seem so game for things?
She's kind of a badass.
Would this be shocking and scary, or would this be just like a oh?
You were imbued with
What's that?
the holy water of the.
Oh, that's right, my mace.
Oh. Yeah, you have that.
You were given a special job by the sister.
I have a special job from the sister. I'm Spanish now.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
That's right.
Are you going to use that right now?
I think I will give it a shake. I'm very startled, but I grab very quickly.
These skeletons are not supposed to move
No,
around.
that is very unexpected.
You stop. You stop right there. This is untoward behavior by skeletons.
Great.
Very nice.
So
I'll give it a
okay,
shake.
yes, now roll. Okay, so you give a shake of the ceremonial mace and the water spatters out at the skeleton. Roll 1d8.
1d8.
What do you got for me?
Kill him.
Come on, come on. Oh no, that's a 1.
Oh, that's a 1. So maybe it's because you're using the pole with one arm and the thing with your offhand.
Yeah.
You give it a little shake.
You're too far away.
You haven't done a lot of practice with this thing because it's holy water and you don't want to waste it. So you spatter, and like the holy water like spatters the tabletop, and like just a couple drops of it hit the skeleton in the head. And when it does, it goes and it just starts like shaking its head, and it reaches up and starts to like slap its face.
Oh.
Oh.
And the other skeleton stands up.
Oh boy.
And Richtrude, you hear the sound of chairs being pushed away from a table, the scraping of chairs against the floor in the darkness.
Oh no.
Further in the dark.
Further into the room?
Yeah.
I say, Crespon, my shield.
Crespa?
It's strapped to my arm, boss. I don't think it comes off.
We'll have to take the arm then.
You are welcome to try.
Who's very happy?
Janon gets out her jug of holy water, seeing this holy water reaction.
Yeah.
And takes the hand with the jug. She splashes some in the hand, in her other hand. So she's got
cupped in her hand.
Cupped in her hand, but also she spills some on her clicker clackers.
Okay.
So they might be wet with holy water in
Okay.
the future if we ever need that.
Okay, so she got it.
And she throws it at the skeleton. She throws a handful of water at the skeletons.
The same one that Robinette just started?
Sure.
Okay.
That's the closest one.
So that is a shoot or throw roll. That's dexterity.
Okay. You can do that. Oh, snake eyes, so a 3.
You get to mark dexterity.
I don't know.
Unfortunately.
Oh.
I don't know how to do this.
Oh.
But whatever.
No.
Jason, while we're agonizing, the shield, is it just a grabby thing? Could I just hand it? Would I have to like unstrap it, or could I just hand it to?
Well, my impression was that he just handed it you to hold on to for a second, or was it to wear?
It was just to hold on to while I was carrying it.
I think you were just holding it, and it's easy enough to just hand off.
What happens when
I'm more than happy to return the shield to Ichtrude.
Sorry, Dean, what'd you say?
What happens when all 4 of them fill up?
It goes up.
Oh, your stat goes up.
Goes up?
You clear the marks, and your stat increases by 1.
Oh, I thought that was a bad thing.
No.
It's good.
It's
a good thing that happens when on a bad roll.
Yeah, it's learning.
Okay.
You learn from your mistakes. Okay, so Janon, this is what happens to you. You pour the water out, and as you pour the water out, you're thinking, I mean, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but the general thought of Genevieve, Sister Cécile, this god, your relationship to this god.
Yeah.
And how does that...
Well, obvious. It's the old, if hell exists, then God must exist. Right? You show me a vampire, I believe in God suddenly.
I see. Okay. But so
there are no atheists in haunted mansions.
Absolutely.
So unfortunately,
Jesus Christo, protect me.
You have that realization, and you throw the holy water. And as you throw it, you realize that your lack of faith up until this moment, perhaps, but this is a moment of realization. I wouldn't call it faith. You're having that moment of realization. Throwing that holy water, your lack of your history of a connection to the church, disconnection from the church, you realize that the holy water means nothing in your hands. That by you touching it, it has basically lost its power.
Oh.
So you throw water, and water like spatters the skeleton, and it has no effect. Now, what Janon wants to do with that information in the future, perhaps something can happen. But at the moment, you have that all those things go through your head, and you realize that the holy water, when you try to dispense it, is useless. Cut back to the north chamber.
Oh.
You guys have recovered from the slug situation. You've gotten back to your feet. Gabri has saved his boot. All footwear is intact, in fact.
I don't think rats would eat these slugs. These are far too dangerous.
Yeah, so Oivan, Alar, and Gabri are standing there in the room.
Now, do we hear a commotion?
You're too far away. Yep. There's mainly because if you look at the entrance to that room, the middle room, the sound going out that door wouldn't really have any way to echo back to you. So yeah, you don't really hear what's going on.
So Huivan will ask Gabri, bring your candle in there up those little stairs. There's little stairs.
I do not have it. I don't got a candle, governor.
You don't have a candle? Allard,
Plum away.
Monsieur,
do you have a candle?
I do indeed have a candle.
Yeah, I think that's your everybody's light source in this room right now is Allard's candle, right?
Well, you know, knowledge is a light in the darkness.
Yeah. So you're asking Allard to go investigate the stairs?
Yeah. There's little stairs. Let's see where it goes.
I will be more than happy to walk behind you with this candle.
These three cowardly
But
characters
I
are
am
not going anywhere.
but a man of learning. And these things are disgusting. They looked much nicer in the book. I don't know. I didn't think it'd be so icky, so gross.
Well,
Any decorations in the area? Is this room just like a passing through way? Is there anything else of note here?
Not just like there's debris on the ground. There's nothing. Wall sconces. Yeah, no particular decoration. No paintings or tapestries or anything like that. No.
Monsieur Didon, I will be right behind you.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have a knife. I'm going to pull out my knife.
Okay.
But I am going to step out of that dark room.
Okay.
It seems dangerous.
So you're leaving you're going back into the cloisters.
Yeah, just if Allard has said he is not going to lead the way and he's holding the candle.
Yeah, okay.
It's probably not safe in there.
Okay, so Oivan retreats, Allard and Gabri.
And that was Hoyman. I don't know. I'll give the two elves. The two elves exchange a weighty look.
Yeah, right here you are.
The human is just exited stage right.
Always the way. Can never trust them.
I think this is a keep company. It sounds like you guys are having a little.
No, I mean I'm feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is
Bonding moment.
A bonding moment for sure.
So Kevin, why don't you, or actually Gabri initiated this. So Gabri, why don't you roll? If you agree with this, is it okay to keep company?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what is keep company?
Bob, is that okay with you?
What's that?
Is that okay with you to keep company? Is a move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna roll 2d6, no modifier.
Okay. 2, and so yeah, snake eyes.
So you actually get XP for failing this move. So you get an actual experience point.
Yeah.
The other person describes how the conversation goes badly. So there's this attempt at bonding.
Oh no.
And so how does Allard, what is it that Allard, why does it go poorly? And then Allard gets to define how you would have to make amends in order to keep company with him again in the future.
Nice.
He may need to think about this for about a week.
So Gabri tries to share some old elvish rhymes that involve that there once was an elf from Nantucket, and
but like maybe
Allard is this is disgusting and déclassé.
And he's from
not suitable for scholarly ears and a bit vulgar. To be honest.
Okay, so the troubadour is a little on the vulgar side.
The troubadour is a man of an elf of the flesh. An elf of the people.
I remember that song about.
I don't know if you realize that Gabri is a bit off-putting because he is missing one of his eyes. He's missing one of his eyes, and he wears a little bit of a Phantom of the Opera sort of half mask.
Oh,
that's painted up. That he has sort of across, so it can sometimes be a bit disconcerting to interact with him.
Okay.
It was really the elf from Nantucket.
He's fine with the mask.
To make amends, we've got to do some kind of, the Fairy Queen or some other like highbrow kind of poetry. Not mere vulgar verse.
Okay. So that's gonna. So maybe Gabri cues into that, but you get you don't get a good reaction from.
Yeah, one of the moments in the rhyme I was sharing actually involves me sort of lifting one cheek and letting loose some gas. Just did not go over well.
The parts of the Canterbury Tales where you're like, really? Really? That's what we're reading in 8th grade?
I'm thinking to myself, this usually kills a tavern night, but
Room.
The rat catcher would have loved it.
Any light sources while we're being disgusted with each other or disappointed?
Are you gonna get lucky?
Oh, Jesus. Had I but known. Yeah, no, because then all the rest of the lights will go out. I am not going to attempt to get lucky. I'm just trying to look around.
Check in about time wise. It's been several hours now, and how are the babies doing? Do you guys need to?
yeah, I think we're gonna need to retire with the babes.
No problem. This is a good cliffhanger moment because of this dining room full of skeletons that people
Yes.
Smiles.
are off against. Smile.
Big Trude's going to recommend the fighting retreat. Get everybody out of there.
Okay,
That'll be next week.
excellent.
Run away! I have that bottle.
Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
stop the recording.
Well, that was a lot of fun, you guys. Thank you so much.